What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be going over the next part of What If Jiraiya Adopted Naruto. Let's get into it. So, we start this part of our story out with Jiraiya. Jiraiya, just like in the original timeline, would have to go to the Rain Village. Tsunade wouldn't want him to go, but Jiraiya would insist on going, so Jiraiya would end up going to the Rain Village. Now, when Jiraiya goes to the Rain Village, he would end up fighting the Six Packs of Pain, just like in the original timeline. But something here will change that I think fans will enjoy. You see, back during the time skip when he was training with Naruto, as you already know, Naruto did master Perfect Sage Mode. Jiraiya, seeing this, couldn't stand the fact that both Minato and Naruto had mastered Perfect Sage Mode and he still hadn't done it. So he decided that he would finally master Perfect Sage Mode. So Jiraiya would do that. So now that he has mastered Perfect Sage Mode, he would have an advantage in his fight, as the difference between Imperfect Sage Mode and Perfect Sage Mode is actually a pretty decent big gap. But Jiraiya would not come out of this fight unscathed. He would still end up losing his arm, just like in the original timeline, but he would be able to just barely make it out alive. So Jiraiya would return to the village, and Tsunade would be absolutely horrified and shocked to see just how much Jiraiya was hurt. She didn't think that she would actually get defeated that badly. So Jiraiya would have to get rushed into emergency surgery, but he would end up surviving, but his arm was gone. But when Jiraiya woke up, he would tell everybody all the information he had before he would eventually end up going to Naruto. He would tell Naruto that the village would probably end up getting attacked soon, as the Akatsuki was after the Nine Tails, and knowing that he would be in the village, they would probably come to the village to get it. Jiraiya would tell Naruto that although he thinks Naruto was very strong, not even himself could defeat the Six Paths of Pain. So he thinks that they need to get Naruto even stronger, and that Sage Mode by itself won't just do. So he tells Naruto that he thinks it's time to fully awaken his potential with the Nine-Tails chakra. Naruto would ask Jiraiya what he means by this, and Jiraiya would tell Naruto that he would have to open up the seal and fight the Nine-Tails in order to steal his chakra before resealing it. Naruto would then ask Jiraiya how exactly he would do that, as he didn't have the access to open the seal, but then Jiraiya would reveal that he has had the seal key. So Jiraiya would open the seal, and Naruto would go in to fight the Nine-Tails. Now, I think that Naruto would have a better chance of defeating the Nine-Tails by himself here than he would in the original timeline, but I still think he would struggle a lot, which is why I'm going to have Kushina still help him out. So, at the end of the day, Naruto would still end up getting the Nine-Tails chakra and achieving KCM1. So Naruto would go on to train with this new form until the event of the attack would happen. So when the attack begins, Naruto would actually start out using Sage Mode, and Sage Mode would be decently effective, but eventually Sage Mode would start to fail him, and when that happens, Naruto would deactivate Sage Mode and he would turn on KCM1. And with the power of KCM1, it would be much better to deal with the Six Paths than Sage Mode was, greatly increasing his strength, speed, and the chakra arms on Nine-Tails abilities. He would be able to take down the Six Paths of Pain much easier than in the original timeline. The only downside about this being that Naruto wouldn't get to meet Minato, but he already knows that Minato is his father from Jiraiya telling him, so it's not that bad. So eventually, Naruto would end up tracking down Nagato like in the original timeline, and he would actually do this with Jiraiya, and together they would still be able to talk no jutsu him. And when they talk no jutsu him in this timeline, Jiraiya would ask Nagato what he thinks they should do about his eyes, and Nagato tells Jiraiya that perhaps he could give them to Naruto. But Naruto isn't too fond of this idea. He has a better idea. He thinks it might be best to just destroy the eyes. Everybody in the room would look at Naruto in shock, as the Rinnegan could be pretty useful. But Naruto would tell them that there was a good chance that an enemy would want the Rinnegan, but if the Rinnegan no longer existed, there would be no Rinnegan for them to take. So Naruto thought it would be best to destroy the Rinnegan. So eventually everybody would agree, and the Rinnegan would be destroyed. Then before that would happen, Nagato would cast Ren Birth, reviving everybody before destroying the Rinnegan. Now eventually Obito would discover that the Rinnegan were destroyed and he would be pissed. But he did have an idea of how to continue his plan, cause then he remembered Sasuke. So Obito would simply tell Sasuke that he could do an operation that would make Sasuke stronger. Sasuke, still being the power-hungry Uchiha that he is, would agree to this, so Obito would end up putting Hashirama cells into Sasuke. But nothing would happen just yet, and where the next big change in our story would occur would be at the fight between Naruto and Sasuke a bit after the 5 Kage summit. Because in this timeline, Naruto has a pretty powerful form that he can tap into pretty easily. So Naruto would tap into KCM1 in this fight, and because Sasuke was already a bit weakened from the fight against Danzo, Naruto would actually be able to defeat Sasuke, and Sasuke would be returned to the Leaf and thrown in jail. While in prison, all members of Team 7 would try and talk to Sasuke, but he just wouldn't budge. Eventually, while in prison, Sasuke's rage would just continue to fester, and eventually his rage would get to a boiling point where he would explode. Not literally, obviously, but this explosion of rage would result in the awakening of his Rinnegan. The awakening of the Rinnegan would bypass all of the restraints that tried to keep Sasuke down, and he would rise up and begin attacking the village. Seeing the attack, Naruto would know that he has to go and stop Sasuke. Now, although Sasuke does have a Susanoo and a few things that Pain didn't have, his Rinnegan also has not been trained at all, and Naruto's already fought a well-trained Rinnegan user. So although he will struggle a bit because of the Sharingan and its abilities, Naruto will still end up defeating Sasuke. So Sasuke would be placed into custody once again, but this time the Leaf Council would decide that it would be best to take away Sasuke's eyes. This would be a decision that Naruto, and Kakashi, and Sakura would not be very happy with, but they did deep down understand why it was being done. Obito would discover what happened to Sasuke, and part of him would be infuriated, but part of him would also be glad, as now the Rinnegan were awakened, and they were also away from Sasuke, making them even easier to get. So Obito would pull up to the village. The first thing he would do is find Sasuke, calling him a disgrace before killing him. I know that my team is kind of a shock, but Sasuke is not really going to have any importance to the rest of the story, as he's not going to be a big villain and he's not going to turn back either, so I'm just going to have Obito kill him. Obito would then go and discover the Rinnegan that were taken before implanting one and storing one for later. Now Obito could truly commence the start of the 4th Shinobi Great War, and the war would happen. It would be pretty similar to the war in the original timeline, with Naruto still teaming up with Kurama and the Edo Tenseis and all that. Although Sasuke would not be here, the fight would definitely be a decent size harder because of that. But I think in the end, the Konoha and the entire Shinobi Alliance would be able to push through and defeat Obito, but I think there's a decent chance that the Sage 6 Path might give Naruto both 6 Path Sage Mode and Rinnegan, so he could fight Madara on his own. And even when Kaguya shows up, I think Naruto, with the combined strength, would be able to defeat her and seal her away, as well as he would likely give Naruto both the Sun and Moon Seal. So many years later, Naruto would still end up having kids with Hinata, and he would still end up becoming Hokage, but in this timeline, Jiraiya will be the father at the wedding, and Jiraiya will be able to actually see Naruto become Hokage. So that's it for my What If Jiraiya and Up in Naruto series. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. Sorry for the wait on the final part, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace.